I've received several emails from people who are still perplexed about how to do gesture drawing. So here's the beginning. In all my years of teaching gesture drawing, I've come up with a method that really works, but what it requires of the person learning it is practicing, realizing that this is a skill, not just something that you're inspired by. So learn the skill first, and then you'll find that the skill works for you. So I've broken it down into this little exercise that I want to show you, and I'd like for you to practice this exercise for at least a week before you try to go beyond it, to make it part of your working knowledge. So here's how it begins. First of all, take a marker, a felt tip marker, and simply draw for yourself a square. Okay? Now, that may sound like a very simple thing to do. So what we're going to do is to look at the skill, how to make gesture drawing work, by using this as your subject. So might begin right here. Now this is the way gesture drawing works. What does it require? It requires a quick line, not a slow line, but a quick line. It requires a quick line that can repeat itself. So if I were just going to draw the side of this square, I would go forward, back, and forward again. Or I'd go forward, back, and forward, back, and forward again. Doesn't matter where you start, but you go forward, back, and forward again in a rhythmic motion. Now, I like to think of the waltz as a good rhythmic motion. So if you can get a waltz rhythm going in your mind, in your whole being, and by the way, if you use a sharpened pencil, if you hold the pencil, actually holding it with your thumbnail facing the ceiling is a better way to make gesture drawing really work for you. Then allow the drawing to come from your shoulder and your elbow, not from your fingers. So what you would be doing then, if I started right here on the subject, what you would be doing is you would go forward, back, and forward again, forward, back, and forward again, forward, back, and forward again, forward, back, and forward again. Notice the waltz rhythm. Da, 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 da. If you can create that waltz rhythm, it can help pace you then in getting the thing to work. So once again, draw yourself just a plain shape like a square. Take it from any point. Now I could start the square from over here and draw right over this one. This one doesn't matter. So I'm holding the pencil with my thumb towards the ceiling, holding the pencil at least 4 fingers from the tip. I would go forward, back, and forward again, forward, back, and forward again, forward, back, and forward again, forward, back, and forward again. Notice there's a slight pause between each change of direction. You can do that by drawing for yourself as many kinds of shapes as you want. The important thing is that you keep going. The only slight pause is where the shape changes direction. So you could draw another shape within this shape. For example, I could add this shape within the square shape. So then what would I do with that? And I could start again at any point. Forward, back, and forward again, 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 forward, back, and forward again. This kind of exercise will enable you to feel comfortable and confident about doing gesture drawing just by building the skill into your system so that you don't have to think about it while you're doing it. Now, the next step you might take for yourself after you've done a number of these, and I'm talking about practicing this the same as you would practice calisthenics if you're getting ready for some sport. The next step to follow this would be to go for a real image. Now I have a photograph here of a bowl. So I'll just hold the photograph there, and so what I would do there then is to take the bowl in the same way, take the shapes of the bowl in the same way as I took the shapes of the images that I drew for myself. So I'd go forward, back and forward again, 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 forward, back and forward again. Notice the rhythm. Notice the rhythm. So if you will, then you can move from a bowl to another simple shape. But to get comfortable with gesture drawing so that you know it's working for you, it's better if you start with simple shapes and then gradually build to shapes that are a little bit more complex and a little bit more complex. After a simple bowl, you might add a cup that has a handle on it, and then after that you might add a vase that has several shapes within it, and just move from there. But practicing just that one little skill for, I would say at least half an hour every day for a week, after a week, you'll be surprised at how comfortable and confident you will feel with gesture drawing. And at that point, you can move around the world and do gesture drawings of almost anything you find. And there's your quick tip.